Hello and welcome back to Angel Wars Lore. I'm your host, Reverend Jake Zabel, and today we're doing our very first location analysis, the Academy. Now, the Academy is not mentioned in episode 1 about Face, but since we just spent our last episode talking about the Anawim, I thought it was appropriate to talk about the Academy. You see, the Academy and its canonicity in the show is rather interesting, because in the very first 3 episodes, the Guardian Force episodes, the Academy is never actually mentioned. Instead, on the very first episode, when Ariana is telling off Kira and Eli, she says if they don't behave, she's going to send them back to Kingdom, reference to heaven.
There are 1,000 other Anawim that would give anything to be on this ship. Just because you've gotten this far, don't think you can't be returned to Kingdom.
So we can assume that the Academy is in heaven, but she doesn't refer to the Academy. She doesn't say, I'm sending you back to the Academy. However, even though the Academy was not mentioned in the first 3 episodes, the website at the time did mention the Academy, saying that Kira was the top of her class at the Academy. Now, the website doesn't exist anymore. You can only find it using the Wayback Machine. However, these character bios were included as extras on the Messengers DVD. And so there you can read that Kira was the top of her class at the Academy. So even though the Academy was not mentioned in the show at that time, it was mentioned on the website and in the DVD extras. The Academy does finally become canon in the TV show itself, only in the very last episode, Return to Sender, when Kira and Cameron are discussing how Cameron was the fastest in the Academy.
But you were the fastest. I remember from the Academy.
Yeah, the Academy.
Kira states that she remembers Cameron at the Academy, though early in the episode she doesn't recognize him straight away.
My name's Kira. I'm an Anawim too.
Guess that makes 3 of us.
Meaning that she probably wasn't a classmate or a friend of Cameron's, but he does have a reputation. All we know about the Academy is that there are angels still in heaven, or Kingdom, who are studying and preparing to be sent out. As in the very first episode about Face, Ariana mentions that there are thousands of Anawim who would like to be on the 7. So that means there are probably plenty of Anawim still back in heaven studying at the Academy, waiting to be sent out on missions. Now, in addition to this, if you can use the Wayback Machine to get access to the now defunct website, there was a post from the writers of the show back in 2006 on the news tab, where they were talking about plans for a webisode webcomic series. The series was going to detail Eli's time at the Academy. You can see the screenshot on your screen right now of the proposed project, where it shows Eli and what looks to be like an Academy teacher. This could be Michael, but I think that the angel looks a bit too different. Now, sadly, this webisode series never actually came to fruition. It was just something they were planning back in 2006, and by 2009, when they released the Messengers DVD, they still hadn't done anything with this webisode series. And by 2016, when the website went down for good, they still hadn't done this webisode series. So it was, you know, a nice idea. It would have been fun to learn a bit more about the Academy. But it does again show how, even though the Academy was not mentioned in the show proper, at least at the time of the first 3 episodes, it did exist in the mind of the writers, as it is included on their website, not only in Kira's bio, but also in this planned webisode series. So the canonicity of the Academy is a kind of weird subject, because for the first 3 episodes of Guardian Force, the Academy is never actually named in the show, though it is named in the extra content beyond the show, only finally getting a confirmed canonical mention in the very last episode of the show. And that's basically all I have to say on the Academy. I've been your host, Reverend Jake Zabel. Goodbye and God bless.